My name's Robbie Cumming. That's me, in a bit of bother on a borrowed boat. I've not got a lot of control with the wind just blowing me over to one side. This is actually quite tricky. We'll get to that in a bit, but this is my boat, the Naughty Lass. For over a decade, I've been exploring Britain's rivers and canals. Camera in hand, filming every bump, scrape and tricky situation. And there's been a fair few. So much is going on, I just slipped and fell in. I'm quite stuck. It's all very soft mud that I'm just sat in. This time, I'm in Cheshire, on the River Weaver. I start my journey in Anderton and make my way upriver. I'll travel through Northwich before reaching Winsford, where I'll turn around. I'll then explore the river's lower reaches through Dutton Locks and on to Weston Point. It's around 27 miles in all. There'll be plenty to see, so jump on board for my Canal Boat Diaries. Alright, I'm just about to set off on a new adventure. This one's a little bit different. In fact, it involves me leaving my home, the Naughty Lass, behind. But for now, I need to get some things packed. I need to get organised. It's not one of my strong points. Yeah, I've got some things to put together here. I need to obviously take some clothes with me. I'm going to be away for about 4 days. I've got my gas stove here because there's nowhere to cook where I'm going. My rucksack, and yeah, a number of other items that will keep me going on the journey. Normally, I'd take my own boat to explore the Weaver, but the lift down to the river is out of action. With a breach closing the canal to the north and drought shutting locks to the south, if I want to keep on the move and visit my friends, I've had to call in a favour. A mate's lending me their historic narrowboat, Tench, which was built nearby, and, crucially, already on the river. Alright Gary,
Robbie.
how you doing bud?
Good, bud.
Thanks for bringing your boat down and letting me use it. Amazing. This is a bit different for me, so what are the basics? What do I need to know about your vessel?
So Tench, 1936, built in Northwich. Just look after it. You're going to enjoy it.
I will try.
You're going to enjoy it. Things to do are, I'll put a new floor in for you.
Nice.
You've got accommodation up at the front if you want to use it. And really it's just showing you how to stop it and start it and change gear and you can go.
Yeah, I'm sure you're underselling how easy it is. I'm really excited though. Good. I'm really excited to get going.
Really pleased. I'm chuffed for you. You'll enjoy it.
After loading my kit, Gary showed me how to use the gears and throttle.
Reverse, neutral, forward.
Go, easy. Then it was over to me. Right, all my stuff is on board that I'm taking with me. I'm about to set off onto the River Weaver. Gary's at the front untying the rope. It's such a long boat, it's almost like I do need another crew member. But I'm going to give him a lift now back to Northwich, which is around the corner. Here goes. Anti-clockwise. There we go, bit of acceleration. Is that alright, Gary? This is fun. These particular types of narrowboats were often very, very long to get as much cargo in as possible, and this one is about 70 feet. My boat is 42 feet long. That's a big difference, so I'm going to have to adjust, take the corners maybe a little bit slower, watch out for the wind. That could be a real factor. And turning it round, well, it's a good job the River Weaver is quite a wide navigation. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. This is the longest narrowboat I've ever driven, but actually it's handling pretty well. Not just because Gary's on it. So far so good. The Weaver has served as a trade route for centuries. Salt-laden barges from Cheshire's mines went to Liverpool and Manchester, where the cargo was shipped around the world, earning it the name the Salt River. Boats like Tench would have made this journey countless times. After arriving in Northwich, I step in as captain. Right, it's all on me now. I've got to carry on my journey, and hopefully I've remembered everything that Gary's told me. It's a bit like, I suppose, hiring a boat or anything for the first time. They do tell you a lot, and you've got to try and take it all in and then remember it hours later. I've got my exhaust for the engine, that's that chimney in the middle, and I've got the stove chimney at the back. I've got to make sure neither of them gets knocked off by this bridge, because it can get quite low, especially when the water's high, but I'm just hoping as long as I stick to the middle, it should be alright. Oh, that's close. The town of Northwich was once a shipbuilding hub, where Tench, the boat I've borrowed, was built nearly a century ago. Between the 1890s and the 1960s, W.J. Yarwoods produced around 1,000 vessels here, including military ships and narrowboats for major canal carriers like Fellows, Morton and Clayton. Right, first lock in a completely different boat, narrowboat Tench. This boat is old, it's 90 plus years old. I've got to look after it and make sure I don't smash into one of the lock gates. The only problem is the lock keepers have expected me to do this perfectly because they've only opened one of the lock gates. Oh, here goes. I think I've done it. Come on, was there ever any doubt? With the locks that I'm going through, they're quite big. They're all automated. It's like a huge industrial structure that you're taking your boat into. I just have to trust the lock keeper who I'm working with and pass my rope to them and just follow instructions basically. So I'm hoping the engine's not going to be too loud so I can actually hear them for a start. Right, I've got my centre line here. I've got to hold on to this while they let the water in. Ready, let's go. I think I'm ready anyway. Oh heck. The rope I've got hold of stops the boat from moving around too much in the lock. This is not as turbulent as I thought, but that's because these lock keepers know what they're doing. I'm really glad that they are here because, yeah, wide locks, lots of paddles being wound up to let the water in and out. It's a lot more to it than you think. Here at Hunt's Lock, 2 lock chambers sit side by side, one larger than the other, reflecting how working boats on this river got bigger and bigger over the centuries. Right, here we go. Just pulling into a mooring. It's a floating pontoon of sorts, little jetty that's sticking out. The boat's definitely longer than the mooring, but it'll just be me using this one. Very peaceful. Well, I think I expected that was going to be a pretty rough night's sleep anyway, because I'm not sleeping on a mattress, not a proper one, and could not get comfortable. So I did eventually get some sleep, but yeah, I knew it was going to be a bit rough. There we go, that's sunrise. Sleeping on this, you have to be a certain shape, I think. It would help if I wasn't tall. If I was short, then I could sleep across, but because I'm not, I have to sleep sort of diagonally. Yeah, it's not particularly comfortable, but hopefully what I'm thinking is I will find a way by the end of this journey so I can at least get some sleep. Right, I'm just going to start the engine up. I've not done this before. Right, well that was my first night on an old working boat, and I do so much research about these and the families that lived on them. Until I actually experienced it myself, I had no idea how cramped it was, and I still can't imagine a family of up to 6, maybe sometimes more, living on these things. I couldn't do it. But here's my first lock of the day. Tench is an old Fellows Morton and Clayton workboat. The small back cabin once housed the crew, just like the thousands of narrowboats that served as both home and workplace for families over the years. And in case you're wondering about that bridge above, well, it's movable. The lockkeeper must swing it out of the way before Tench can rise in the lock. The thing I noticed most about the difference in piloting, driving this boat, obviously the gear system. I've got to push one lever to go reverse or forward, and then I've got another one I have to wind counterclockwise to increase acceleration. So it's a little bit unfamiliar, and I thought, oh, I'm going to struggle here. But it's surprisingly easy to manoeuvre this boat. It stops when you need it to stop. Right, I've had to slow right down for this swing bridge here. It can open as long as the cover there at the front, as long as that scrapes under, should be alright, but I am actually going to have to take down these chimneys. Yeah, just to be safe, because these are antiques. Put it in neutral now. Yeah, that's very close. Whew. made it. Not many boats around today, but there is one that's waiting at the end of this navigation. One of my friends has been trapped here for the last 3 months, so I'm definitely going to pop in and see her and keep her company for a bit, have a drink. Heidi's been stuck on this river since the Anderton Boat Lift broke. You can actually see her boat, there she is. I was reaching the end of the Weaver navigation, or the start, however you want to think about it, where Winsford Marina is. So I know I needed to turn off. I could see it on my map, but I couldn't quite see the opening and see which turning I needed to take. Hopefully I'll get this right. Oh, yeah, that's just a duck beach. Oh no, it's there. I've missed the turning. Right, reverse. Yeah. I've overshot. So now I've got to take the boat back and not get stuck. Now in Naughty Lass, my boat, which is 42 feet, that probably wouldn't be much of a problem. But with a 70-foot boat, yeah, that's quite a lot of boat to then reverse back. And as I did so, the wind just suddenly picked up and blew the boat right across the river. The wind's taking me. It's such a long boat, I've not got a lot of control with the wind just blowing me over to one side. There was a moment when I almost completely crashed into the side. Emergency stop that was. So I was there ready for an impact, and then no, the engine saved the day. That was difficult. I've made it though. Steering an old boat like this, it's like an antique, like I'm trying to look after precious vase. I'm heading over to see my mate Heidi, a fellow continuous cruiser. As I mentioned, she's been trapped on the Weaver for ages, with sadly no news of the boat lift being fixed anytime soon. Here we go, the Jolly Roger, this is her boat. Heidi, are you in?
Hello. Hello. Is this Bonnie?
Hello.
Come on in. Hey.
Oh. Ooh.
Come on, babe.
So this is luxury compared to what I've just been on. I'm just coming to wash my hands basically. Clean up.
Would you like to have a look round the boat?
Let's have the grand tour, yeah.
So, the things I love the most, I just love all the sort of quirky things. I love these
It's
lights.
definitely nautical, I mean look at that, yeah.
I love things all a bit boaty and stuff. So it's quite a big bathroom this. For a narrowboat, it's got a big bathroom. That's Polly the parrot. And having a bedroom for me is a real novelty, because on my other boat, very much like Tench, I was sleeping in the boatswain's cabin. So to have my own bedroom is just...
This must feel like absolutely luxury.
I love it, 'cause I just feel like I won the lottery. It's my dream boat, this one.
But lots of people would take all this for granted, like you've got central heating going on,
so I can
but that's not a standard thing for boats, is it?
So I've never had central heating before. I had 2 fires.
I really like Heidi's boat, and inside she's got plenty of nautical accessories and fittings and all that. Yeah, I'm slightly jealous. Well, I love the way you've done it.
Nice and cosy.
Keep you cosy whilst you're waiting for the boat lift to reopen. I don't know how long that's going to be. How long have you already been on the Weaver?
Well, this boat, when it had its new paint job, was launched about nearly 3 months ago now. So I've been stuck on here for nearly 3 months. It's heartbreaking, to be honest, because the boat lift, it's not just a fantastic piece of engineering, it's also a gateway. So that gateway is closed and it's very frustrating.
Yeah. Now, I've been stuck on rivers before, so I can imagine how annoying it must be for Heidi. And Bonnie doesn't look too impressed either. Right, Heidi, I'm going to leave you and Bonnie to it.
Oh, it's been so lovely to see you again.
Thanks for letting me look around. It's still raining out there, but I do need to get some shopping done and sort out my boat.
Well, safe travels.
Temporary home.
Yeah. See you
Cheers,
later.
mate. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Luckily, the rain cleared up. So after a bite to eat, I walked to a local park to see some sculptures related to the town's salt mining industry. These certainly light up the area a little bit, and they represent the stacks, the chimney stacks of the salt factories. Winsford has been shaped by centuries of salt mining, which fueled its growth and established it as one of the region's salt-producing towns. I've been trying to dry my clothes out throughout the evening and going for a walk in the local area just now to see the salt stack sculptures. I've shut my door and it's all just trapped the heat in. It hasn't dried anything out, which is pretty frustrating. It's just made it intolerably hot, so I'm going to have to keep my doors open and turn my torches off so that no moths come in. Night night. I'm travelling along the River Weaver in Cheshire, on board a borrowed historic narrowboat called Tench. From here in Winsford, I'm heading downstream to explore the river's lower reaches. I'm just reversing Tench out into the wider area, but it's also very shallow, so I've got to watch out I don't run aground here. Just like coming in, I've got to make sure I don't get stuck. Behind me is Winsford Flash, a shallow lake formed by subsidence caused by underground salt mining, where the ground collapsed and the hole was filled with river water. Right, I've made it past the slipway at least. Now I'm out into the open, but it's not the kind of lake that you'd expect by looking at it. It's very shallow, and if I get stuck here, well, I don't think I'll be able to use my barge pole to get out. And to be rescued, apparently, can cost around about £1,000 to come and actually just be winched out. So I definitely don't want that happening either. That'll be all my beer money gone. I'm starting to see the appeal of owning a historic narrowboat. I do love driving these things around. It is quite fun. I've enjoyed cooking outside, and it is pretty cramped in this back cabin, but there is something quite cosy and very simple to it. You really are going back to basics. But yeah, I don't know, I am missing my own boat, my own bed. Just passing by these incredible mountains of rock salt. This is the stuff that's used on our roads when there are icy conditions. Hard at work today. You see the digger dumping it into a lorry and it's off on its way, making its deliveries, getting ready for winter, I guess. I've only just gone into autumn, but got to be prepared. As I press on, I'm back in open country. And from here, I'm heading to Northwich, where I'll spend the night. After that, I'll make my way to Dutton Locks before reaching my journey's end at Weston Point. I've got around 17 miles to cover. Just approaching Vale Royal Locks. The last one yesterday is going to be the first one today. But what I didn't mention yesterday was the location of this abbey that's near it. Vale Royal Abbey one of its most notable residents has links to one of the greatest archaeological finds in the history of this country. Edith May Pretty lived in this country house with her family in the early 20th century, later moving to Sutton Hoo in Suffolk, where she commissioned an excavation on her land that uncovered a Royal Anglo-Saxon burial ship filled with precious artefacts. And after Vale Royal, there's one more lock to navigate before I moor up for the day. Though it's rather a wet one. Oh no! Going down in these locks is lovely, apart from when all the water's rushing out of the corner of the lock gate and going in the back of my boat. Oh no! Oh dear. Right, the lock's empty now, so I can pull this rope down. There we go. On my way. I'm almost back in Northwich, and I could always moor in the town itself, but actually I'm going to stop here because my friends run a business here and I want to check in with them, see how they're doing. So I haven't seen them for years. Plus, this is where Tench is normally moored. There's my mate Matt. As you might have guessed, this isn't my first time in these parts. Some years ago, I brought the naughty lass to this boatyard for some work. And it's also where Gary, the owner of Tench, has a workshop. Back then, I filmed myself taking part in an old tradition, painting my boat's name on the dock wall. I'm curious to see if it's still there. Alright, it's been a while since I've been here, isn't it, Matt?
A few years.
Yeah. And I just wanted to see if the name of my boat is still here on the wall, because it's a tradition, isn't it?
It is. It was there
roughly
somewhere.
there, yeah. I can.
So, time to come back, I think.
Yeah, I think it might be. Well, as soon as the lift's fixed,
yeah,
that must be a bit of a sore point for you at the moment.
It's very quiet at the moment. All of our business really came down the lift, and yeah, the sooner that can get working, the better.
Well, do you know what? I was just talking to Gary on the phone, and he says, by the way, if you are going to see Matt, say something about you used to own it, is that right?
Yeah, I owned Tench with my sister back in 2010. We bought it and sold it in 2015, so we had it for 5 years. Yeah, painted it in the current paint scheme that she's in now, and travelled a lot of the canal with it.
That's so mad.
Small world.
It is, because I just took this boat on thinking nothing of it, and then realised
look after her.
My friends used to own it.
Yeah. No, she's a good boat. Yeah, we do miss her. And our youngest was, she was 9 days old when she first went boating on it, and so it's still the boat she misses now.
Well, it's great to see you again, Matt. And is it all right if I moor Tench where it normally moors?
Yeah.
For a night whilst I explore
Absolutely.
Northwich?
Yeah. No, good to have you around
see
again.
The sights and sound. Yeah, it'll be nice to be back again. Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Now, it probably didn't help that I used undercoat to paint my boat's name, and that's why it's washed off. Right, I'm going to go and explore Northwich now. My goal is to head straight to the pub, not just for a cheeky pint, but to charge up my battery bank here, which is running very, very low, and I need it for my phone, which is also my camera. This town's distinctive timber-framed buildings are a result of its salt mining past. Underground mines caused the ground to sink, an event known as the Great Subsidence. engineers rebuilt using lightweight wooden frames and even added jacking points so buildings could be lifted or even moved. Alright mate.
Right, okay.
Yeah, could do with a pint.
Yeah, no problem.
And also I need some help charging up my battery pack if we could sort that out.
Well, you can, no problem.
Nice one, alright. It's a long story. My camera's fully charged and ready to film, though I can't say the same for myself after another rough night's sleep.
I just feel absolutely ruined. How do people live like this? I don't get it. My back is killing me. I've had only a few hours sleep and it's going to be a long day of travelling today. Right, let's get up and go.
Living on this old thing isn't exactly comfortable, but it's an experience I won't forget. I'm alright now, I'm alright. I've had a little wash and some breakfast to feel much better. So, before I set off today, I'm just going to do some checks in the engine room, one of which is the oil. Let's just see what the level's like, because Gary said it can leak a little bit, just like any old engine really, I guess. That's what we like. That's absolutely perfect. I can get going now. It's time to move on and explore more of this river, but I'm sure I'll be back for some maintenance on my own boat. Right, it's great to see my friends the Northwich Dry Dock. Shame I couldn't get my boat down here and repaint the Naughty Lass on the wall, as well as get it blacked. It's going to need it in the next couple of years or so, but do have a job that I can get done today, and it involves my bucket. You know the one, yes. There's a facilities point just the other side of Town Bridge in Northwich, so I'm going to stop there before I carry on with the rest of this journey. Some of these jobs you just got to do. I'm making my way back down the River Weaver in Cheshire, on board a borrowed boat called Tench, and I'm approaching the boat lift where I first hopped on board. The sight of it is incredible, honestly. There's a reason why it's one of the wonders of the waterways. But I'm also seeing some of the boats moored up here, and they are trapped for the time being until they fix it, and no one knows when, at this point in time, when it will actually be operational again. I've been told the Anderton Boat Lift is out of action due to a problem with its gate mechanisms. It was built back in the 1870s, and this pioneering piece of Victorian engineering was one of the world's first boat lifts, connecting the River Weaver to the Trent and Mersey Canal above, where I left my boat, the Naughty Lass. Right, I've just come around the corner and I'm faced with the first lock of the day, Saltersford locks. There's a couple of them here. One of them is actually open. That is the one that I'm using, the larger one. But at this point, the Trent and Mersey Canal, where my boat is, the Naughty Lass, it's just up that hill. You can walk to where the canal is, so both of the navigations really are quite close together, probably only yards apart.
I think, like most people, I probably take things for granted, and it's not until you experience what life is like without those things that you realise I actually had it quite good there. This is exactly what I'm experiencing. It's so cramped. I'm finding it difficult to move about, just coming in and out of the doors, and my bed, it's just not wide enough or long enough for me to stretch out on, and I just keep falling off it onto the floor. So my sleep quality has not been the best. has definitely given me a renewed appreciation for what I've got on Naughty Lass. Yeah, it's been a really valuable experience for me just to appreciate what I've got. You know, usually I love doing the locks myself, but due to my lack of sleep recently, for some reason, maybe that's the reason, I've really enjoyed just going down nice and gently in these locks and not really having to lift a finger. Been great. This is Acton Swing Bridge. I'm just going to go straight underneath it, but what I do need to do is give a shout out to the guy that designed it. He designed this, many other structures. In fact, he spent 45 years working on the River Weaver, including on the boat lift, changing it from hydraulic power to electric.
John Arthur Sainer was one of many men who helped improve this river for boats over the centuries. Originally known as undertakers, not related to funerals, they managed budgets, supervised the building of locks and bridges, and oversaw river straightening to make navigation safer.
There's a couple of mooring options here, and I'm going to go over to this side where there's a water tap because Bob says I can moor there. Cheers, Bob. Well, I'm having a little trouble reversing back into the spot, so what I'm going to be doing now is turning around. So here we go. As long as I don't end up crashing into that boat, I'll be fine. Eventually I managed to point it in the right direction and come to a nice stop so I can tie up. Look, I haven't had a lot of sleep, alright?
I'm meeting up with Barry, who owns a Fellows Morton and Clayton boat called Perch. Just like Tench, it's one of a batch of former working boats named after fish.
There he is. Alright, Barry.
Hello, Robbie, how's it going? Been a couple of years since I've seen you at Braunston last.
It has been, yeah. That's not where you're moored now, is it?
No, I'm at Shardlow at the moment.
Well,
So,
thanks for coming to visit me anyway.
That's fine.
Now, you've got to have a look at what I'm doing here.
Oh.
It's my first time on a Fellows Morton and Clayton boat.
Yeah.
You know these really well.
Yeah.
You've got one.
Yeah, I've got Perch.
Now, am I doing everything right? Because I know the traditional ways...
Well, not really.
No. Right, tell me, what have I done wrong?
You've got that on.
Oh, 90 degree.
Yeah,
Right.
that should be over here.
Barry's one of these Canal characters that I've met along my journey. And as soon as he turned up, he was telling me exactly what I was doing wrong, of course. Because there are certain rules you have to abide by if you want to take part in historic narrowboating. So your family worked for Fellows Morton and Clayton?
Yeah.
Just Fellows?
Yeah, just Fellows Morton and Clayton. This is a picture of the boat that my mum and dad had when they got married. And they used to run coal with this from Langley Mill down to Wembley.
From Midlands to London and then back again?
Then back to Langley Mill, load again and back to Watford.
Brilliant.
That would be a week's work.
Well, maybe you can show me a few more things on this boat.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you can tell me what's what.
Yeah, I'll show you a few more bits you've done wrong.
Yeah.
Barry's family were part of the last generation to work for FM&C before the company closed for good. And it was nice to catch up with him again.
Well, it's my last night aboard this old thing, and although it has been incredibly cramped, no running water, no power, I had to bring my own toilet. I wish I'd done this sooner. It's given me a newfound respect for the people that care about these things, the boaters who have had these sorts of boats in their families' history. But for me, I'm going to spend tonight just sitting out here and looking along the river and playing my guitar.
It's my final day on the narrowboat Tench, and I'm heading for Weston Point in Runcorn. Along the way there's still more to see, like this impressive viaduct, designed by George Stephenson and opened in 1837. Remarkably, it was built without a single recorded fatality, which was rare for a Victorian project of its scale.
I am quite looking forward to handing this boat back to its owner, Gary. There's a lot of responsibility making sure nothing happens to it. It's so well loved, it's so rooted in canal boat history that you do feel all that weight on your shoulders a little bit. I think the people who own these boats do get a lot of pride from it, and I can really feel that, but it's too much responsibility for me. I'm handing it back. Quite a contrast, this end of the navigation. We've been through the lovely countryside parts, we've been through all the industrial heritage bits, and then you've got much more modern chemical factories at the end. And then you can also see in the distance the Manchester Ship Canal and Runcorn. I've enjoyed my time on the tiller of Tench. It's a little bit more meaty, the engine, cranking along the river, just magic. Right, that's the end of the navigation for me. Can't get any further than the pale blue bridge. 27 miles, 4 locks, well 6 because I did a couple of them twice, and I'm certainly looking forward to getting home to my naughty lass. But what an experience. Whew. Right, I really need to get it back to Gary. This is far too much responsibility.